take two. Hopefully we survive this. I'm not ending it after Sandoval. That's not a good video there, so let's try that a second time. And the AI are a little bit better there. Verstappen was a lot better. So I will have to crop that out very nicely there. But the intro is going to be a bit crap, I'm not going to lie, but in this series it's not career mode, so I can restart if I want. So I don't want to end the stream after one corner of that. I think that's a record, I think. If anyone can clear up in the chat for me the quickest we've DNF'd in a Grand Prix, I think that has just topped it off by a country mile, and we have got sim damage on as well, so I think that kind of showed what happened there. I just think I clipped the curb, and then the AI behind me, I think it was Grosjean, just clipped the back of me and just spun us round. As there we go, there's one man disqualified, and then there's the other one, so that's out of the way, but we're going to continue on now. So as long as we keep it on the track, we should be fine, but I don't want to end the video off at one corner, just not worth it, if I'm honest with you. Probably the shortest video I've done in the series. But we survived the lap, so let's get some hype in the chat for that, lads. We got through a lap of this Grand Prix without hitting the wall or anything like that, so I just think it was a little bit of nerves played into that. Just being a bit too cautious, ran wide, just hit the wall and went off there. But we've survived it, so my main priority at the minute is to just hold on to at least third position. We are on the slower tyre, remember, the super soft tyre, where everyone else is on ultras, if you just joined us. So we're going to have to do full lock here. We've got Checo Perez behind us, the Taco, I like to call him now, the Mexican Taco, in the pink Force India behind us. Probably one of the best looking cars on the grid in 2017. But what do you guys think? Which is your favourite livery out there in the 2017 field at the minute? Let me know in the comments below. A little bit wide there, not ideal, but again, braking too late for the corner there, not ideal, but I think these tyres, oh, we've got a little bit of damage there. I think we need to be a bit less cautious right now. We're making too many mistakes, pushing the boundaries of this car. But Hamilton storming away already from the field there. Just starting to struggle a bit, but I can't get them. I'm very nervous here. I'm not a fan of driving Monaco, streaming at the same time, and it's Monaco, because I've got to concentrate so much, but I don't want to, if I don't talk, it's not a good video. If you guys can understand where I'm going with this, but I really want to focus and not talk, but at the same time I want to keep you guys informed with what's going on in the race right now. But so I'm in two minds at the minute of what to do right now, but I'm going to try and read chat as much, but I won't be, so only on the main straight realistically. So as long as we can get these tyres to go as long as I would have liked, we should be fine. As long as I can keep really the gap at least 10 seconds to the car ahead, we should be fine in the race, because we're going to be clawing so much time back on the ultra soft tyre, which we will be using. I am in two minds of whether to take a front wing or not, but it all depends on how my pace is compared to Verstappen right now. So we're into the 17th. It's not bad. We're still catching up to Verstappen, so at least it's only light front wing damage on the front right tyre, so on the front right hand side of the car. Then he went for the wall there. Just didn't brake at all for the corner. But I'm just trying to find the limits really of how late I can brake into these corners. Monaco, one of the most demanding tracks on the calendar, and you've got to be so precise with your driving line here and your braking zones, when to brake, so you've got to be cautious on how you do well around here. As Perez doing a good job holding up Raikkonen behind, so Raikkonen in P8. Then behind him, it's quite a big gap emerging right now, so this is what we want. As long as we stay in the points, then it's a good job, but priority is to beat Bottas in this race, so we've got to try every trick in the book right now, and hopefully Ricciardo can do me a favour and hold up Valtteri Bottas for us later in the race. But I think it's pretty close up front at the minute, so as long as they battle for the lead of the Grand Prix, then that's what we want. Tyre wear won't be an issue for us. It is a one-stop race. I would be amazed if anyone does pit twice in this Grand Prix. But at the minute, I'm just going to take it nice and easy. We need to get into a rhythm right now. We are closing in on Verstappen very slowly, but that's all we want. Little small temps out will do me for now. As I hit the wall again, I think Casino Square is going to be the corner that I'm going to dread the most. So I may have to take it a little bit cautiously through that corner there. We're actually up on our last lap by half a tenth, which is a bit of a shock really for me. Just keeping an eye on Perez in the mirrors. A little bit of a tank slapper there, which isn't ideal, but just got to be careful with the curves as well. If you guys remember AOR last season, you will know where I'm going with this. What happened at this corner coming up twice in the race, and in the career mode episode as well. If you guys remember that one, where we spun it there. One of them was a puncher, which was quite funny, I've got to say, how I managed to pull that one off. But gap's still 2 seconds to Verstappen, so I'm not too fussed about that at the minute. As I said, if we can keep it, my aim is 10 seconds, obviously, because we gained so much back on the ultra soft tyre, and we will be in clean air hopefully. So as long as I take it very cautiously to start off with, we should be fine. We get on there. So already 6 laps in, we've managed to go further than the first lap, and there we go. That's a bit better, Ryan. A little bit better, but we've kind of still bottled that section a little bit. Back end slides out. I am running quite an oversteery setup, but I quite like oversteery setups on a good day, so I'm taking a bit of a gamble with the setup here that I ran in AOR, which was running, I think it was like overcast conditions, so may have a big factor in terms of tyre performance, in terms of the temperature, but we'll have to wait and see when we go on to the ultra softs how they can cope in these conditions. But at the minute we're doing a good job really of keeping up with Verstappen, which is my main priority, especially with a little bit of damage on our car. I've got to say it's a good job there. So really, the guys staying in traffic is going to help me here. Stay with them, and then once we get some clean air, we can really attack and fight with the Red Bulls and the Ferraris in this race. A little bit of a moment there, not going to lie, as my headphones went off there. But as long as we keep up with Perez behind, obviously who is on ultra soft tyres, we should be fine, hopefully. So lap 7, 39 laps, so it's a very long one, this one. But I'm playing now into the fuel saving strategy now. Up by nearly 2 tenths in the first sector. Good start for us there on the lap. The short shift into second, just save a little bit of traction degradation on the rears. Just keeping a very close eye on Sergio Perez. Now I'm going to drop into lean now for this section here, as it's very slow, as we kind of bottled it there a little bit, running a little bit too deep, but it's a good learning curve there for us to understand where best to brake through that sector. So for that section, sorry, after the tunnel. Very good in this last couple of corners here for us there, getting very good exit as well over Sergio Perez. So what's the gap then? Up front, 2.2, so not too bad. We'll see what a lean lap does in terms of performance compared to Max Verstappen. So this is just an indicator for how long we can maybe go on these super soft tyres, but we're not going to be going long on these. So we will be switching to a set of ultra softs in this race. So remember, we've not made a pit stop. We started on these super soft tyres as we qualified them in qualifying, and obviously the fastest tyre, the time you set on a particular tyre, then that's what you're starting on. So in this scenario, if you are new, we qualified our top 10 time on a set of super softs, so the top 10 have to start on the tyre that they set the fastest time on. So in my case, I'm starting on super soft, and everyone else qualified on ultras, and which means they qualify and start on the ultra soft tyre in this race, and they will be pitting a little bit earlier than us, and they could give us an indicator of how long their tyres could go. They are running used ultra softs, remember, in this Grand Prix, so we've got to keep an eye on that. Just want to see what the gap is now to Verstappen at the end of this lap. It was 2.1, I think, at the line. And what's it going to be this time around? It's 9/10 loss, so not too bad on lead mix. So I'm going to keep it in standard, I think, for this race and see how we get on. But I think that's a good indicator for us, as Perez is right on the back of us now, but nothing he can do though, if I'm honest with you. So we're just going to have to try and hold on here. But I told you this was going to be a bit tricky, this series. The Mercedes are quite quick on their AI is quite quick. And so are the Ferraris as well, so don't count out Sebastian Vettel in this race. But even the Red Bulls really. Ricciardo's doing a pretty good job, and I think Verstappen is watching a very tasty battle happening up ahead of him. Just going to bring myself into equation in that battle, and I think it's for P3 in this race. I think it actually is for P3. A little bit of a tanky there. Tanky is another word for tank slapper, if anyone doesn't understand what I meant by tanky. It's just another word for tank slapper. Very encouraging signs. We have gone purple in the final sector. So that's very, very good signs for us there. And we've pulled a little bit of a gap. No, don't hit the wall. Oh, we got away with that. Just can't get that section right in the first sector. So we've already done a third of the Grand Prix already, coming up to. Oh, I said that. No, we're not. We haven't done a third. We've done a quarter of the Grand Prix already. So it's gone quickly, these 10 laps already. Here in Monaco. A little bit too wide though out the chicane. Very close to the wall there, and again clipping that wall. Got away with it though, scot-free. Into the final corner, it's taking a little bit of curb, not ideal. As someone pitted already at the end of lap 10. Wow, okay, that's interesting. We're up to P5. Are we up to P5? I don't know what happened there. Some people, did Verstappen pit or something? That's very early, I've got to say, for people to pit at the end of lap 10. Very, very interesting, I have to say. That people have pitted this early, but Bottas is now our next man, and he's 6 seconds up the road, and he's fighting with I'm not sure who it is, but we'll have to wait and see. But that is very early for a pit stop. That is very early for Verstappen. Maybe he's thinking massive, massive undercut for a one-stop. Raikkonen went in the pits as well. Oh, we ran a little bit too deep in the chicane. Not the best. But that is very early, I've got to say. I think you guys would agree with me, that is very early. They've got to be doing 2 stops, surely, and it's not going to help them. The pit stops around here are long. It's like 35 seconds a pit stop because of the 30 mile an hour speed pit lane limit. We go purple though in the last sector again. So now we're going to be charging now. Hopefully catch up to Bottas, who's in a squabble for P3. In this Grand Prix, but just one corner I can't get right here today, and it's going up towards the casino section. I just can't get it right. Go full lock once again. There we go. It's a good little exit there. Coming up then towards the section where Formula E is actually driving, actually. Where the crane is there, there's a hairpin there. They do a hairpin turn. And onto this layout, onto the Grand Prix layout. So, I know it's on right now. I would like to watch it, but I've got a stream to do, unfortunately. So, I will be watching the highlights back on YouTube afterwards. Still no one pits up ahead, which is good signs for me. In terms of the durability of the ultra soft tyre. Take Sandoval, only 4 tenths off. Gap's now under 5, is now under 6 seconds now. So we gained 2 tenths on Bottas, as I think their tyres are starting to show a little bit of wear now. The ultra softs after 13 laps. So obviously they are running used ultra softs as they set their time on their fastest time in qualifying with that tyre they're running right now on track. And I'm using I'm in the same boat, but the super softs can go very long in this race. So we are going to be fine to go as long as we want, but I just want to see how long they can go on used ultras. And then it's about 2-3 laps I have to add in as well. So if they put it into this lap, for example, then 16 laps is maximum for the ultra soft tyre. So I've got to just keep an eye on when they pit, because we will be on a fresh set of ultra softs going into the next stint of the race. They will be on a fresh set of super soft tyres. So it's all about being on if they want to be on a slower, more durable tyre, well, we can go absolutely full pelt to start with, but we'll struggle at the end of the race on ultra soft. So it's a tough decision to make if you were a driver right now, especially around Monaco. So we're matching Bottas' pace, which is quite good. We're only about maybe half a tenth off. But what do you guys think about Monaco driving it on these games? Do you find it tricky? Do you find it nice to drive? Is it a challenging track for you? Let me know in the comments below. Slaughter, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Very much appreciate you hitting that subscribe button and supporting the channel. We are getting close to 13,000 subscribers. Getting very close to the 20k mark that I've set out as a target for myself to the end of the year. So hopefully we could smash 20k by the end of this year, which would be absolutely fantastic. And the other priority for me is to build up our community, up our live stream community on F1. And it's just a great way to do this. Just get you guys involved, not see any, you know, scripting or whatever it is. You just see it live in action, and you know, enjoy live races. We don't see many of it on YouTube at the minute, but I want to try and break that curse now by building our little community, which we have grown a lot over the last couple of months. So it's great to see. And we've got a new subscriber coming in, Sven, I think that is. I could be wrong, but thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. I do appreciate that a lot. As Bottas is starting to pull away from us a little bit, so I think he's not battling. I think he's just conserving a little bit. But we are pulling away from Sergio Perez, which is very good from a pace perspective. That's very good, so we won't have to worry about him. Then behind him is Lance Stroll, our teammate, as well. So we've got to keep an eye on hopefully our teammate helping us a little bit here and giving us a little bit of a nice window for some clean air like this, for example, and attack so much, so badly in the last half of this Grand Prix. As funny enough, I've just seen the leaders are coming in the pits already at the end of lap 15, which is quite interesting. So it'll be around about lap 18 they will be pitting. So they've got, hopefully Stroll can get out ahead of these guys. I'm not too sure they will, but we are now up to second place. But where is Bottas stayed out? He did indeed stay out, Bottas. So Hamilton unfortunately has come out in P3, so Stroll didn't really help us there, unfortunately, for us. But we're now up to P2 in this Grand Prix, which is not too bad. There is Bottas coming up towards the hairpin, so we will lead this Grand Prix once Bottas pits, which I presume is going to be next lap, considering Hamilton pitted just now. But we have got a nice advantage now over these guys when we pit for the Ultra Softs. Hamilton will close the field down, of course, because he is on a fresher set of Super Softs compared to us, but we're going to be on that very quick purple Ultra Soft tyre in the next couple of laps, of course, so definitely something to think about. I don't think we'll win the race unless Hamilton has a blowout, which we know he can happen. We've seen in half the races this season Hamilton's DNF due to an engine failure, as Bottas does indeed pit, and he may come out somewhere in the Stroll area, which will help me massively, but we will take the lead of this Monaco Grand Prix then. So let's get some hype in the chat, lads, right now for P1, as Stroll actually is coming in the pits, so that's alright. Ricciardo now in P3. Struggling a little bit now. But starting to lose a little bit of grip. Hamilton only 3 seconds behind, so he must have built an enormous gap over the field. Well, he did, to be fair. So we will not lead this Grand Prix for long, but maybe we can hold him up a little bit and bring the likes of Ricciardo in to help us out a little bit. I want to see different winners win a race this season. We've seen myself win a race, we've seen Stroll, and we actually won a race yet. I'm pretty sure we haven't won a race yet. I could be wrong. Oh no, we won in China, I've just remembered. We've had me win, we've had Stroll win, we've had Verstappen win, we've had Hamilton win. So it will be nice to get some different winners. Skill, thank you for subscribing to the channel, do appreciate that, mate. A little bit too deep there into that penultimate corner. So we're doing a good job right now. Nico, great job. As Hamilton, annoyingly, fastest man on the track. So that is obviously going to happen. He is on a fresher set of super soft tyres, but we are doing a good job right now. Obviously, we are going to lose a little bit of time to these guys, but remember, we are going to be on the faster ultra soft tyre, so you will see the times maybe about a second quicker than the cars around us. So it's not too bad that we are losing a little bit of time right now, but not particularly fussed, if I'm honest with you, about the Mercedes, because they are too quick to challenge around some of the tracks that we've got lined up this season. There will be some tracks that I will be good at, like Austria, for example. The Williams has been quite quick around there. When I've been testing this out, we have been pretty quick around there. Silverstone's another one that I'm absolutely pumped about. As you guys know, it's one of my favourite tracks to drive on, so I am pretty confident around there that we could maybe pull something out of the hat, potentially. We're going to go one more lap and then we'll pit for a set of the ultra soft tyre. Fresh set of ultra soft tyres, I must add, but Hamilton is right on the back of us now, unfortunately, which is obviously going to happen. So hopefully we can park the bus a little bit and hold him up there. So let's get a hashtag park the bus in the chat, guys. That would be fantastic. And we haven't seen anyone retire yet, which is quite encouraging for a lot of you right now, to see everyone finish the Grand Prix. Obviously we had 22 drivers, and if you've just joined us, the Manners get disqualified at the end of the first lap thanks to a little cheeky thing that a member of our modding community, Carlito, has done to disqualify the Manners. So I want to give a shout out to Carlito for doing a way of getting the Manners disqualified, so props to you, Carlito. So the question is, do we take our front wing check? I think we'll get a new front wing, because I think we could get even more time. And with more laps on the board for us, we can really attack and try and get something out there. Very aggressive over the curves there, but we took too much there. Hamilton all over the back of us then, as we are going to come in to the pits then for our only stop of the Grand Prix. Right now onto the set of the ultra soft tyre, which we know we can go far in this Grand Prix. So this is going to be close. Ocon P6, lads. I think Ocon's going to pip us here. And he does indeed. And they didn't even change my front wing, which is interesting as well. There's a normal stop there, so we're up to P6 in this race. So I think maybe Van Dorm's done something very nicely there to help us out a little bit. So we're now on the faster tyre, which of course is the ultra soft tyre. So they didn't change my front wing, so it must have been not worth changing, apparently, according to the game. So that's interesting. Right, let's attack now. Let's get up to Rich Mick. Let's try and get past Ocon quickly, who I think has not made a pit stop yet in this race. We'll have to wait and see. We've got the grip now on these tyres to really attack. As Hamilton, fastest man on the track, obviously with a 16. The grip I've got on these tyres, they're so good right now, as we're right on the back of Ocon already. Hopefully the Williams will help us get past him before turn 1. I don't think we can. My DRS wasn't working. I did push the DRS button, so second time the charm. Now we have to get some slipstream on him now. Try and get past him quickly. Take a little bit more care through this section of the track. Get a good exit on him. Going for a move down the inside of Ocon. Got to give him a little bit of space, and we do so. And he's actually spun us round, and we're actually out of the race there. Ocon nabs us out, and we are unfortunately out of this Grand Prix thanks to Ocon. Sadly. So we'll watch this footage then. We make the move on the inside, full lock it there just to give him a bit more room. And I just think 2 does not work there, and unfortunately Ocon wipes us out of the Grand Prix. And that is just done and dusted. So we'll watch it again. And, yep, just clips the side of our car. And that is just done and dusted there in this Grand Prix. We've got to go on... Can we go on board with Ocon? We'll see it from Ocon's point of view. So we'll see where his view is. So we get the inside on Ocon. Then just comes across, just clips us. And unfortunately, he gets away with it. And he will continue on in that Grand Prix. So that's a bit annoying. But what can I say right there? So we will all retire. We've got no flashbacks or anything like that. So we're out of the Grand Prix. And that's us out. That's the first retirement of the series. And it has to be at blooming Monaco. What can I say? But Massa is out, which will help hinder his championship contentions. I have no idea who's won the race. So I'm in the dark right now. Who's won? And, oh great, Bottas won, so that's not ideal. So we're going to be 30 points behind Bottas now in the standings, which is really annoying. But so there's Bottas then, as he's getting his winner's trophy there. So apparently Hamilton had a mistake really in that one, so it's a bit disappointing. But the Ocon chat comments right now, so that is interesting, and it actually wasn't my fault there. So, but it's a bit unfortunate. But here is the official results then of the Grand Prix. Bottas won by only just over half a second from his teammate there. Ricciardo in P3, then Vettel 4th, Verstappen 5th. Raikkonen P6, Stroll in 7th, then Perez in 8th, then Van Dorm in 9th. Alonso gets the final points paying position, and the rest of the field is on your screen right there. Bit disappointing, I'm not going to lie, but it wasn't our fault there. Ocon just came across and just spun us, and with sim damage, that's what happens, unfortunately. It is what it is. We have to take it on the chin. We're the only retirees as well, and apparently I've subscribed, so that's great. But I'm just going to double check that if we've hit the light target, I will do Canada tomorrow. So I'm going to have a quick little cheeky look before we go anywhere further with this. And I'm pretty sure we have done. Oh, we're just under. I think we're 18 under. I know you guys can do it. So you've got to the end of the episode now to get 18 likes, and we'll do Canada tomorrow. So let's look at the championship as we just go to the top of the field quickly. So if you missed your results there, so Honda have got points, which is quite a shock. We dropped to second, and we're now tied on points with Sebastian Vettel, unfortunately. So it's not too bad with 30 points. It's still early days. It's only been 6 rounds of the championship. And we've got Canada coming up next, which is, again, another one-stop race. So we never know what could go on in that one. With weather as well, you never know what could happen in that race. So we'll wait and see. Other movers, Ricciardo's now up to P7. The standings have overtaken Raikkonen. Van Dorn and Perez have jumped ahead of Sainz. And I think Hulkenberg's jumped ahead of Ericsson on points. And the rest of the field is still the same in the constructors right now. Mercedes now lead the constructors by 26 points from us now as we drop to P2. And we're now 20 points ahead of Red Bull, who jump ahead of Ferrari, who are now down to P4. So that has been the episode, guys, and I'm pretty sure you guys can hit the like target, but I'm going to have a look before the end of the episode. So if you haven't already, guys, make sure you like the video, subscribe and turn notifications on if you want to see more. It's not how I wanted to end it, but the AI have wiped us out of this race, and I wanted to go to the end and see if we could do the strategy and see if we get there. But I'll be back later on tonight, though, for another round of the F1 Cards Against Humanity, guys, on in the F1 Community Edition. If you guys want to take part in that, make sure you join the Discord, guys, and all the information is on there. But until then, thank you very much for watching this video, guys, and make sure you like the video and subscribe as well if you want more of this Let's Make Massa World Champion. It's going to be a bit harder now, but we have to take it on the chin and see how we get on there. And until, as I'm going to just quickly check, we've absolutely smashed it. Thank you so much, guys, for your support on the like target. Let's try and go for 200, guys, by this time tomorrow. If we can see 200 likes, that would be fantastic. But until then, I'll see you tomorrow, and take care, guys.